So this is an old video that you're going to watch. I started filming in November 2023 and it took me a year to post. So these are all archived clips. Some of my thoughts might have changed, some might stay the same, but I'd like to post them because it's part of the journey and it's important to me, and they matter to me. And it shows the journey and shows different thoughts I was going through compared to now, I guess. But yeah, enjoy the video. Peace. Just been sort of thinking, listening to a podcast again, sparked some thoughts. And what I've been thinking about is I feel extremely confident and like happy and content and just full of energy right now. And a lot of it is because of work and teaching and what it does for me. And it's the thing is, it's that moment when I first started learning and thinking, how the hell am I going to grasp this job, these techniques, and not grasping them and thinking of myself negatively and being like, oh, God, you got to do better. And then as I'm getting better, I then also think of like, oh, okay, you're good now, but you have nothing to compare it to. I was working on my own. So I've got no standard, a regular standard to uphere to. And that then, so I've got no reinforcement from an outer source. There's no feedback from someone who's not me. And it's hard to then reassure myself at what level I'm at. So that's when I started thinking, well, one day I'm going to be working with someone else. One day I'm going to have standards to compare to. So just be the best you can be. Learn as much as you can learn, as well as you can learn. And I then started imagining the day where I have to teach someone. And I think, is my standard good enough to teach someone? And that's when you start doubting yourself. And that's when I start not becoming confident about what I'm doing, which then makes me learn more, makes my standard go up because I want to have a good standard. So then these days now where I am teaching and I am seeing the process that I went through, and I can see the full process. I can see the timeline of what I went through and the same feelings that I was feeling about. And I don't know if that's just because it makes me feel a bit more normal, a bit more, oh no, it wasn't just me going through that. Like it was normal for this to happen in the situation I was in. Like, this is the normal path. And having someone to compare to who I'm teaching, and just realizing that what I can teach is such a great feeling, because it's reassuring my ability. Now, I'm only teaching the basic ability. I'm literally teaching the start. And it just makes me appreciate how much actually goes on and how much I've actually learned and actually done. And it makes me feel so good about myself that I can teach and that I can pass these techniques on. When someone's struggling and then you go, hey, why don't you do this? And then they do that and then it works. And it gets me excited to teach, and it gets me excited and motivates me to see more success in what I'm teaching, how to get better at teaching, And also, it's given me a perspective of life where it's like, no, you do have to go through this struggle, this period of low confidence and not having a clue what's going on, not having a clue if you're doing it right and if you'll ever get there. You have to go through that to get the goal, to get the success. And then when you're there, don't forget to look back and to see what you've done and the ability that you've got and the things that you've learned. And this is what this is doing. It's really making me appreciate. It's making me also learn in the at this time as well, even more. So I'm appreciating what I've learned, and then I'm appreciating the stuff I'm learning right now. And it's like positive stats on positive stats on positive. Even if I have a bad day at work, even if I don't do a lot of work and get a lot done and things go smoothly, I'm still having positive stats on positive stats on positive, because every negative that's now happening, it's like, oh, there's a lesson here, which I knew before. I knew that all these bad, when you get stuck on a job or something goes wrong, you're like, oh, I know this is a lesson, but you can't feel the positive of that you're learning. Whereas right now, I can just extremely feel the positive. Like, I've been on this settee. I'm an upholsterer, by the way. I've been on this settee with buttons in, and I'm not the most experienced with buttons. I've done it, I've learned it, but I've not had it sort of reinforced of the techniques, of the different techniques as well, in buttoning. And the first settee that I did, I had an issue with. I was doing it slow. I couldn't figure out the standard that I had to set for the job. I was struggling a bit, but I wasn't angry. I wasn't annoyed. I wasn't feeling negative. It was like, you're learning. You're learning. You know that it's going to get better. And I think that's what it is. I think that's what it was when I was first starting, is you don't know if it's going to get better. When you're starting anything, you don't know. You have no, related to that, you have no related sort of previous experience in that department, or that whatever it is, that category of whatever you're learning. If you have no previous data, evidence that you can do this, then you've got to have self-belief. And it's a great skill to have, this sort of self confidence, finding these techniques to make yourself feel better when you can't rely on evidence, because then you have a technique, like I've said, that when you do also have the confidence, you can feel absolutely amazing about it. And I mean, it's not only that, it's also knowing that I knew that this was going to happen, and I've imagined it happening, and it's then happening. Like, I know that once I started getting better, that I'm going to teach, and I know that these feelings that I'm having currently, I'm going to have. Now, I don't know if anyone can relate to that, but it's such a phenomenal feeling to actually have that. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, I'm having a great time right now. It's a good time to be alive. But anyway, yeah, peace.